launching a tasty pastry. It's a low-carb Pop-Tart. It's got 3 to 4 grams of net carbs, and we love this show. This is our best place to be in LA.
Welcome back to Legendary Foods, Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today is Monday, November 1st, 2021. And let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back and happy Monday. And we're getting you ready for the week today with a brand new update from Nick Walker, who announced a few days ago that he will not be defending his Arnold Classic title in March. According to Nick, he wants to spend the next few months focusing on making improvements, and having to be ready for the Arnold in March would prevent him from being able to fully commit to that process. With that being said, the strategy behind everything that Nick does so far seems to be working. So if he says this is what the plan calls for, then so be it. He won't compete in March, and all that does is create another major opportunity for someone else to step up and take advantage. For the most part, at least when it comes to bodybuilding, the more simple you can make something, the more likely it is to work. Because once people start trying to overcomplicate things and pull too many levers and try to account for every single little variable, well, it leads to paralysis by analysis. And that being said, when your off-season plan centers around keeping your diet clean and using more weight and more reps on basic movements like James Hollingshead does, 9 times out of 10 it helps everything else fall into place. It can really be that simple. There's no reinventing the wheel or inventing crazy protocols. It's just the basics repeated over and over again with a nauseating level of consistency. And when you do that long enough, well, all of a sudden, before you know it, you find yourself creeping up the Olympia ladder before anyone else even realizes what happened. Sometimes in sports, timing really is everything. Because if you can make the right move at the right time, all of a sudden, you can find yourself in a pretty good situation. And with 2 big dates still left on the calendar this season for Ahmad Ashkanani, it still leaves plenty of time to right the ship. Last week, Ahmad announced that he was planning to compete at the upcoming Prague and Romania Pro shows, where he's presumably looking to keep building on the momentum he established with his 6th place finish at the Olympia. We've heard from Ahmad's camp that he's made a few small adjustments since the Olympia, and that he looks like he's bringing it to Prague, and he should be his best. And if we do see a 100% Ahmad Ashkanani on stage there, it's hard to imagine anyone else edging him out. And finally, we're closing out the show today with our first post-Olympia update from your reigning and defending 2-time Olympia champ, Big Ramy, who doesn't look like he's missed a beat since successfully defending his title for the first time last month. This update comes courtesy of Ramy's coach, Dennis James, last week while they were in Dubai meeting and greeting fans at the Dubai Muscle Show. I think it goes without saying that Ramy is the biggest draw in bodybuilding right now. So anytime we see new content from him, it feels like a major event. But because we get so little of it in comparison to other big-time stars like Chris Bumstead, well, it does seem to hold a little bit more weight whenever we see stuff like this. And considering the fact that bodybuilding is a sport that's largely driven by individual star power, the more Ramy we get, the better it is for everyone. Because this really is one of those rising tides lifting boat scenarios. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, reminding you to always be true to your passions, and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.